When we think about what really drives history forward, our minds usually jump to, I don't know, massive armies, sprawling empires, famous kings and queens. But what if one of the most powerful engines of change was something way more humble, something you'd find just lying in a field? Okay, let's get into this.
So, just for a second, think about it. What single invention do you think truly fundamentally changed everything for humanity? The wheel, maybe? The printing press? Some kind of weapon? It's a really tough question. And the answer, well, it's probably not what you're thinking.
That's right, a plow. Not some glittering sword or a magnificent palace, but a simple tool for farming. Today we're going to unpack how a major upgrade to this one piece of tech became one of the real, unsung engines of civilization.
Now, to really get why this was such a huge deal, we first have to understand the technology itself. Because you see, not all plows are created equal. There was a massive, massive leap from what came before to what we now call the true plow.
So for the longest time, farmers were working with pretty basic tools. We're talking digging sticks, hoes, and these early things called scratch plows, or ards. And look, they were better than nothing, but they had one big problem. They could only really scratch the surface of the soil. If you were dealing with heavy, wet, or tough ground, these tools just couldn't cut it.
And that's where the true plow comes in. The crucial difference, the thing that changes everything, is that this tool did something totally new. It didn't just drag a line in the dirt. It was engineered to cut deep down into the soil and then turn it over. This process brings nutrients up, buries weeds. It was a revolutionary way to get a field ready for seeds.
And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? You go from basically scratching the surface with an ard, which, let's be honest, is just a fancy stick, to a real tool that cuts deep, turns, and moves the soil. This wasn't just a small step up, it was a total game changer for farming. But what actually made this new tool possible?
Well, the secret sauce, it turns out, was a new material. One that was finally strong enough to handle the tough job of really digging into the earth. Let's talk about the power of bronze.
So, quick science refresher if you need it. Bronze isn't a pure metal you just dig out of the ground. It's an alloy. It's a mix, mostly copper with a bit of tin. And the real magic here is that when you mix them, you create something that is way harder and way more durable than either metal on its own.
And this is exactly why that mattered so much. A plowshare made of bronze could hold a sharp edge for a long, long time. It wasn't going to break or wear down like a wooden one would. And it was finally strong enough to slice right through those tough, heavy soils that would have stopped the old tools dead in their tracks. It was just reliable and powerful in a way nothing had been before.
And let's put that into a real-world context. Think about a place like ancient Vietnam. You're trying to cultivate rice in these wet, thick, heavy soils. For them, a bronze plow wasn't just a nice-to-have. It was a totally revolutionary upgrade that made large-scale, productive farming possible in a really demanding environment.
All right, so the story gets even bigger here, because the invention of the bronze plow isn't just a story about farming. It's a story about how different parts of society have to connect and work together to make real progress. It's about this whole web of innovation.
And this right here is such a crucial point. A farmer, on their own, could never have just invented a bronze plow. This one tool is where two completely different worlds collide, the ancient know-how of agriculture and the highly specialized craft of working with metal.
I mean, just look at the journey this thing takes. It all starts with miners who have to dig the ore out of the ground. Then you need skilled metalworkers who know the secret to smelting that ore and creating the bronze alloy. Then you need another craftsperson to shape that chunk of bronze into a useful plowshare. It's only after all of that that the tool finally gets to the farmer.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Real progress, the kind that builds civilizations, it doesn't happen in a vacuum with one lone genius. It happens when different skills, different jobs, and different groups of people all come together. The farmer needed the metalworker, and guess what? The metalworker needed the miner. That's how a society actually moves forward.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together. We've seen the tech, we've seen the teamwork behind it, but now for the big one. Why does a humble, ancient plow really, truly matter? I mean, it's a totally fair question, right? Why should any of us, living in the 21st century, care about some piece of Bronze Age farming gear? Well, the answer actually gets to the very core of how our modern world was even built.
And that's the key takeaway. We're so often taught that history is just this list of great leaders and epic battles.
But so often, the really profound changes, the ones that reshape everybody's daily life, they come from these quiet, practical innovations. A better tool can be just as powerful as a crown or a sword.
And this is where you see that incredible ripple effect. The logic is so simple but so powerful. A better plow means better fields. Better fields mean better harvests, which means more food. A surplus of food means you can support bigger communities, right? Villages, towns. And this is the crucial part. When not everybody has to spend all day farming just to survive, some people are free to become specialists, like the metal workers who made the plows in the first place. It's this amazing feedback loop that builds the foundation for civilization itself.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. The bronze plow was a boring, everyday tool that completely remade the ancient world from the ground up. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What seemingly simple, maybe even boring, tool that we overlook today is quietly building the world of tomorrow?